Hello, everybody watching here. We're excited to have you here today. Welcome to our live webinar. So we are actually live on YouTube at the moment. So either way you watch us from our live stream page or from YouTube. We're excited to welcome you here. And you can leave questions down in the Q&A box. So my name is Sue. I am a part of the Lungeing training coaches team, and we're excited to bring some tips to you today, 10 lunging tips, and also how to get fit into summer after we all had like kind of a long winter, spring, and limited horse time and barn time. We're very much looking forward to bringing these tips to you today. Okie dokie, let's get started. First of all, about myself, my background is actually I grew up with Barkey horses. I love the Spanish horses and the Frisians, and I'm also very passionate about equestrian vaulting. Been doing that over 20 years, and with that, a very big lunging enthusiast. And I've seen really amazing and great results through lunging training and the benefits of it as a cross training in itself. So I'm looking forward to sharing some more insights with you guys today. Also looking forward to introducing our co-host today, which is Tyler. And Tyler is coming from actually a hunter and jumper background, and has been riding as well classical dressage and done more work in hunter jumper, and over 15 years of experience with horses, and also is a very great digital and online class expert, and has been an amazing team member for us to actually bring the lunging training online classes forward. So that being said, I'm going to hand over to Tyler and have her give a couple words to you guys. Oh, I'm hoping the stream is working well. Okay. We'll see. We'll see Tyler probably in a minute. I'll check in if there's some connecting issues. So meanwhile, I'll share a little bit with you guys about what lunging training is actually about. So we are an online platform to really bring in exchange, knowledge exchange and insights about lunging to the equine and the horse world. It's a very particular and specific exercise or discipline that can be really applied across all the different disciplines, starting from like Western to dressage to hunter jumper to like driving to trail riding. And that's the beauty of this exercise, that it's really widely applied even across different disciplines. We can also see the different interests in people that are participating in our community or that are actually taking or participating in the courses and classes. So we are different experts. Some are from Europe, some are here from the US. And we also offer to you guys a weekly how-to video that we post on our YouTube page. You're welcome to check out. And then we have a Facebook group on lunging training. Yeah, also the group name, lunging training, lunging, long reining, and horse cross training. As well, we offer blog posts and courses. So whenever you get a chance, feel free to pass by our website, www.lungingtraining.com, and check out the offerings, ask questions, and give us feedback what you'd like to hear a little bit more about. And today I'll talk a little bit about one particular course that we're offering, which is a masterclass that we offer about 4 times a year, where people can participate to improve their different lunging skills. So I'm excited to chat a little bit about that later. But first and foremost, we want to bring to you 10 tips on how to improve your personal lunging skills. Before we move forward, I wanted to check in if Tyler is back, if she's connected and can say some words to you guys. Let's see. Here she is. We can see her. Great. The tone is still off. Let's see if we can unmute.
Haha, there we go.
There she is. Hi.
Hello, hello. I was having a slight technical difficulty earlier. I had the YouTube live up as well as this up, so there was double audio crossing. So we are good to go now. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We are excited to see you and excited to bring you our 10 tips, especially as we go into the summer season. Again, my name is Tyler. You saw my picture a little bit ago. Yeah, so we're excited to have you here. Thanks so much for joining. Please post your questions down in the chat box below, and we'll try and get those answered as we go along. Okay, so let's move on.
Yeah, thanks for being here today, Tyler, with us, and also moderating. So whenever you have a question, Tyler will read them out and make sure we notice them. Sweet. So we'll put in this picture because this has been kind of a look back on our last 2 months, for some people 2.5 months. It's been like shortened barn hours, and trainers have been really busy, and barn owners to train multiple horses because of some owners just couldn't come to the barn, or if we were able to come, we had shortened barn times. And we, as equestrians, kind of really felt coped up at home and missed our horses. And I'm really excited, actually, from many I'm hearing barns are opening again. People are able to go on trail rides. The sun is back. Summer is here. So
oh, we may have lost Sue for a second. Let's see.
Let's see. Hello.
There you are.
Are we all back? I think we got kicked out for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, was I lost?
Okay,
hey
we are good.
Okay, so back to the screen. So basically, this one is a kind of a look back on our last weeks. For some, it was 2 months or a little bit longer. So trainers had to do quite some more work. Our barn owners, because some barns were closed, so they had to take care of all horses, and the horses haven't seen their owners as much. While we horse owners kind of felt we were really coped up at home. And we're very excited that most of us are by now back at their barns and are able to work their horses. Everybody's a little bit behind training schedule. Horses are still a bit out of shape. And we want to share today some tips with you guys, how you personally can improve your lunging skills, and also spice up your training to get your horse fit into summer with some lunging practice. Sweet. This is really the outlook where we want to be, back in the field and having a great ride. So we hope you all are ready for summer. For those that are now watching this, let's see actually how our comment function is doing. So who has had the opportunity to go outside already, or go for a trail ride, or who is actually still kind of locked down at home? So please feel free. Don't be shy. You can comment in the comment section and share with us where are you at. We know each state in the US is a bit different with their lockdown restrictions, and some other countries in Europe and around the world already opened a little bit more. So where are you at? Let us know. We'll give this a thinking minute here.
I've posted in the chat just for a little discussion.
All right, I'm seeing one comment here from Monica. Very nice. She said their barn is already opened again. They were able to start doing more outdoor work, and as well had the opportunities to go back to some group rides actually. So that's exciting.
Ooh, that's
great.
Exciting. That's what we all want to get back to.
Yeah, right. Okay, wait. Oh, great. Sweet. Well,
somebody said they're still in lockdown, so I think it depends, maybe state by state, and probably I'm sure, as large as your barn is too, I'm sure the larger barns kind of still have to juggle how many people they can let in and things like that. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, the gaming llama said my horse is completely out of shape. That's exactly what happens, right? When we're taken away from the barn and we can't get out as often. Yeah, it's frustrating when you feel like you kind of worked so hard and then you have to take a little bit of a setback. So this is, yeah, exactly why we've kind of wanted to host this webinar for you guys, especially, you know, if you do feel like your horse is completely out of shape, this is, you know, the great way to kind of come back into it after we kind of get out of lockdown. So
awesome.
Thanks for commenting.
Exciting. Well, can't wait to bring the 10 tips to you guys.
Perfect.
Right. Okay, dokie. So first one, and I think this is actually really important now, if we like look kind of behind our plans on how to train the horses for the summer, is to really like set a training goal. Most of us do that for riding. They're like, oh, there's a show coming up end of the summer. This is my training. The goal is to participate. And this is like A, B, C, D that I want to reach with riding. And we encourage you to do really the same thing for lunging. And that could be just for like a season, for a couple of weeks, or like on a longer term. Really, we see already great results in the online course that our participants are in. They say even after the 10-week course, it goes between 8 and 10 weeks, they feel like a significant difference, or they made progress with the horse that they hadn't gotten forward to within a year through riding, since it's very nicely complementary for that. So for this is really to set a goal properly. You want to review first on actually why do we lunge, and there's many reasons for it. Well, what we observe a lot for many people, it's like, all right, we'll burn off some steam before we like get to riding, and like, or it's a vaulting horse, or it's a young horse, or they haven't ridden the horse for a while, it comes out in an injury. These are like more of the, I would say, the obvious ones that we know from lunging. But really, when you look at it, how can I incorporate more in my training and help it to increase its performance? You want to look, all right, where is the particular muscle groups actually looking like? How is the condition of the horse coming out of winter or spring? What were some things we had planned on working in the past but didn't quite get to it? Or like, do I want my horse to work more on stretching and lengthening? Do I want it really to improve its top line and strengthen the muscles group? Or really want the horse to reach deeper underneath? So these are already like some goals you can set if they're obvious that is something you want to work on. And overall, for looking into summer, I think the majority of the goals you're going to set is more of like a fitness goal, and lunging can really be a great tool to also like help with their conditioning. For example, nice sessions if you lunge the horse in addition to riding, like 1 or 2 times. You can do a lot of transitioning work, walk trot, trot canter transitions, and do these in shorter sequences, and can increase them a little bit, and you'll already feel a significant difference when you then ride the horse actually. And lengthening along the way is always very beneficial for that, especially once they're coming a little stiff out of winter, or that muscle group isn't quite as developed yet. So setting the goal is super important. I know we have on our next slide, I believe, a couple more points where you can look at what's the horse's overall performance and well-being, which stretching or strengthening of the back muscles you want to look into. And really, it's a variety to riding. I mean, I'll put them on the paddock or let them run a bit, but haven't been looked often into so much opportunities that lunging could do more with it. And another nice one, prepare the horse for jumping. That can be a fun exercise for the horse too, to include some pulls during your workout, or even some small cavalettes you can work with. And we see also great results with like older horses that have like where the back starts to think, that you can, with lunging exercises, set that as one goal to like help strengthening or prevent that back from further thinking. So quite exciting. Okay, so again, set your goal and look for a different variety on what you can do. School the horse's conditions and endurance, and last but not least, gain good rhythm and suppleness. You'll have so much more of an easier horse to ride. Second tip, handling the lunge line. So now we're going a little bit into tips on like, not just, okay, what do I want to reach for my horse, but what do I want to improve there? I actually want to look into how is my skills as a lunger, where is my level on that? And some of these it's nice to refresh them, especially you haven't lunged your horse for a while, before you now get it out and like exercises for the summer. first one, and one that likes to slip through a little bit, is like how to actually handle the lunge line correctly. So I love this picture because it shows like this all tangled up lunge line, and we all kind of have been there. You roll up the lunge line a little faster, you let the horse out a bit too fast, and here we go. You have this like salad of like a lunge line there, and then it's much harder to actually handle the horse. So for that one, we have some fun tips on how to actually roll up the lunge line correctly. As a general one, you don't want to have them all in one hand. It's really hard to then like give the right sensitive cues for the horse to understand when, for example, encourage stretching. Horses, you kind of want to roll it up in like smaller loops. It's also very beneficial from a safety perspective. And if you want to learn more on like how to roll up the lunge line correctly or some refreshers, I totally recommend you to go to our YouTube channel. There's like multiple videos of that explaining it. And then it's a great one to even exercise without the horse. You can really just attach the lunge line somewhere, like here Rachel has it attached to a gate, and then really practice going up and down a little bit, letting the lunge out, shorten it, and then refreshing that skill before you go to your horse. That might actually right away be ready to go and a little bit jumpy or fresh. Okay, what we got next? Third one, again, another one to like deepen a little bit your knowledge on the lunge line. Really, the one is how to roll it up correctly. The other one is like really how to shorten and lengthen it. An important one, when you like stop the horse, you want to change directions. You'll always have situations you want to work with some circle in, circle out exercises. Really great exercise to help the horse with the bending. And for this one, you want to make sure you're doing that correctly, the lengthening and stretching, and giving the most sensitive cues to the horse that you can be giving. And we have next tip for us. That tip number 4 is actually practicing changing the whip and the lunge line. Here comes the first part, where I love to call it the art of lunging, because it's almost like a little bit being a musician and having to figure out how to like play your instrument correctly. On the one hand, you have the lunge line, and with your left hand, you do completely different things. And when you like, for example, hold your whip in the right hand, and you want to make sure those two hands and arms that work independently from each other. And then when it comes to actually changing them, again, you don't want to get all tangled up and eventually confuse the horse with that. You want to make sure on how to actually change the whip correctly. This picture demonstrates 2 versions of it, and it's just another tip that we say, practice it up front, your horse will appreciate it. Number 5, remember the basics of the half-halts. So these are really used in, here we come more into the details now. Looking on the one hand, like I'm a big fan of like starting the horses off, lunging them actually on a cavesson. So the half-halt is extremely important, and encourage the horse or like learn it to understand when to actually drop the nose. We reward it for that. And here we go. Now you have your horse starting actually to lengthen and stretch. Similar when you like lunge the horse directly on the bit. It's very important to be very targeted and aware of your cues that you give with your hand, not just with your hand, but with your whole arm. Like there's a lot of reach in it. Like how stiff are you in your arm actually when you move it? Like coming you out of the elbow, and then when you actually give a half hold, how do you move your hand correctly? Is that soft towards the horse? Does it understand the cue that you're giving? So it's a great one to like practice, even also another one to practice without the horse, and ensure that it helps you to actually engage at the end of the day your horse's hind leg, and to step more under the center of gravity and help it to like stretch his long back. So those are a very important cues to reach that training objective. Okie dokie, here's a quick summary as like an overall tip of practice these things at home or up front before you actually right away lunge your horse. First one, rolling up the lunge line correctly, holding the lunge line correctly, and then how to give the half holds the way that they reach the result that you're looking for. And we have a couple of fun ones here, and this is also coming back out of quarantine time. You could like lunge your child, a roommate, or husband, or a dog, in case you're still, especially if you're still locked up at home. So fun exercise for you and entertainment for some neighbors. Number 5 is how to react to pull moving to the inside and holding the lunge line. So this one is nice too, thinking about what I do when the horse pulls to the outside or when it starts moving too much to the inside. How do I need to then direct the whip correctly to keep the horse in on the circle or where I want it to be at that moment. So a great one to practice as well. And how to walk towards the horse for direction change. We, depending how you lunge, the Western people always like to have the horse just kind of turn around outside on the circle. You can do that for dressage, or especially when you have certain equipment on the horse, like side reins. We recommend to actually stop the horse on the outside of the circle and then walk towards the horse. So it's a process it has to learn. So to actually then change the direction. At the end of the time, have a good time and have some fun by practicing it. If you do take tip number 6 to practice some of these exercises from home. Number 7, use the whip correctly. So the whip is literally your, it gives direction. It is your tool to like tell the horse on like either way. The driving aid, it brings it more forward. It helps you to like pause the horse and like stop it. The movement of your body language and the whip is like so essential. Like every little movement like sends a different message with that. So I love this picture because it's like the horse's look of like, hold on, how are you using this whip actually? So you want to make sure you're actually not consistently using the whip, trying to get the horse going, versus how can I use it targeted, and how is my ability, your personal ability to use the whip targeted. So in this one, we recommend actually a funny exercise. Before I move to that one, not to forget body language and how do you hold the whip. The picture on the left is a bit more from like a perspective if you are working with vaulting. In vaulting, we need to have a very long whip and it needs to be a little bit higher because we have the kids running under the vaulters. And for that one, you want to ensure that the horse is trained to these cues. In general, for lunging training, especially as a cross training or warm up, you want to keep the whip more targeted towards the back haunches. So I like this picture a lot. It shows the triangle and the connection that is there on the one hand from the lunge line to the mouse, and the other one, how you have the whip as the driving aid and like really handling that correctly. So that's a very great one to practice that triangle and ensure your skills are still fresh on it. And once in a while, have somebody review that. So now we're coming to the next one. It's one of my favorite exercises, meaning you can actually practice handling the whip with empty cans. What you do for that one, you basically put up a couple of empty cans. This is me doing it in my little city backyard while we were in complete lockdown, and my neighbors found that really entertaining. I put up a couple cans and just kind of used the whip to kick down the cans. The one on the most back would represent basically if you want the horse to drive more forward or you want to activate its haunches, you need to target more of the back of the horse or the back leg. And then in the front can represent its shoulder. For example, if the horse moves in too much inside, you can point more towards the shoulder to let it know to go out. Well, you as a lunger need to have the ability to do this and be very pointed on the movement of the whip. And that's a hard one because you have to come out of your elbow, out of your shoulder, your hand. This I like regularly practicing it because it's easy to kind of get a little bit rusty where we kind of drop the whip to the side, drop it to the ground, and then that's a completely like mixed signals to the horse when we do that. Okay, tip number 8. So remember body language. We had the first one you're thinking about the triangle. This one is nicely representing the triangle as well. And then here, Claire is actually you can see her hand is going a little bit high. Also, she's like compensating where the lunge line is hanging a little bit through. You can see nicely her body is parallel to the horse, and she has that nice triangle. And then in addition, you can work with your whole body. Like I'm always saying, like sit up straight when you're on the horse to like get the horse moving or like be in contact. Same with the lunging. If you like flop in together, doesn't understand the cues and where you need to go, versus if you like lift up your shoulders and your chest. You can even widen your arms, for example. If you want the horse to like go out, then you work with your whole body to really send it there, for example. So a couple tips on that one, being very self-aware of where your body language is at. And I know we do that. There's 2 or 3 examples for it. Here we go. So nice one. This one goes very closely together with the whip before. Can we go one slide back, please? So here we have, if you look, when your body is more towards the end of the horse, it's always a driving cue to the horse. It makes it go more forward. Versus if your body is too much towards the front of the horse, it slows it down. For example, if you find yourself like constantly using the whip and you're wondering why your horse doesn't move forward, you might want to check in if you're actually standing in his aura where it can move forward, if you're too much to the front of the horse. Versus if you have a horse that's taken off a lot, maybe your body is too much towards the back. You're driving it too much. So you want to be centered when you guys are in a good rhythm. And then if you want to change on what they're doing, you like targeted use your body. You can step towards the front. You want to halt it. Literally, when I work with my vaulting horses, all I need to do is I'll just move my shoulder, and it already knows this is like pacing it down. That says, okay, go down, go gait lower, or like slow down more. Versus when I lift up my other shoulder or like turn it, this would be like lunging on the left side. I'll turn it towards it and like lift my arm a bit. I'll drive the horse more forward in combination with holding the lunge line, like giving a half hold or like making sure it doesn't go too fast. That's kind of the game that you want to work on to get that right. And then it really helps you to like help your horse to step more under or reach what you want at that moment, from transitioning to lengthening. So again, your body itself, are you like neutral? Are you more a bit aggressive? You're going to kind of want to make it go. You want to, for example, go from like a trot to canter, and it doesn't quite jump into canter right away. It can be very efficient to do like just one step forward with your foot, and you'll see the horse much easier stepping into the canter. So they're super, super reactive to our body, and we're often like not as aware of our body, and through that send very mixed messages to the horse while we lunge. Okie dokie, where are we at? Tip number 9. Here we go. Learn about side reins. So this is a very specific one. Side reins are very largely practiced in Europe, and seen them in the US a little bit less. And we're always excited to give people the opportunity to introduce them to side reins. We just had last week, 2 weeks ago, 1.5 weeks, I guess, our feedback call from our last course, and one of the participants pointed out, she said the introduction to side reins was really a game changer, and like having that done the right way and not just kind of seeing it often. Short thought is, oh yeah, it's just kind of a standard solid side rein, and you put it on, and then what I've seen other people doing that, I'm not a big fan of this. Versus we really like the sliding side reins because it gives the horse a frame, but it doesn't squeeze it in it. Like you could see on this horse, it stretches down, but that's on its own. Like if it has a whole range of motion with its head to go up or go down, and the side reins give it a direction, like just frame it a bit, but don't squeeze it in. That's very important, because if you put it in steady, the horse cannot find the point where it balances itself to then actually develop those muscles. So both I'm really excited and encourage people and say, oh yeah, side reins, there is like a lot of them. Have you like looked in those in an extensive way and looked into when to apply which one for which horse for what training goal, and then how to use them correctly? As everything used correctly can have a really good benefit, and what it's important to be aware of how to apply these things correctly. So we encourage people to like read a bit more about them. So this one has a bit of an overview here on the advantages of the sliding side reins compared to solid side reins, and how it helps really the horse to stretch long and low, or to loosen its neck and its lower back muscle. And then, I mean, the horse has a certain frame. It can move in its neck, which is very important. You don't want to put them on too short that it can't move. Then it doesn't help it with its purpose. the purpose really is that the horse finds self-carriage. And while we encourage the self-carriage, the horse really builds up the different muscle groups that it couldn't quite do with a steady connection. Yeah, so really big fan of those, seen amazing results with it. And please ask more questions or reach out to us if you're curious to learn more about, just have a discussion about it. Love discussing about it. Very happy to do. Here we have this, I like this picture. It's an overview of two versions of it. The one is called LAUFFER reins. It's in the lower picture where you kind of put the sliding side reins as the triangle. And then the upper one is, they're called VIENNA reins. Those are really great if you want more of a correction, I would say, the horse to like stretch a bit more. It gives the horse still a lot of freedom to move to the left and right. Which sometimes you don't want, and then the LAUFFER reins for sure give a bit more side frame, but give it much more motion up and down. So great tool, and it's nice to try both and see which ones work better for your horse. Last but not least, tip number 10 to get ready for the summer and you get your horse fit is we invite you to participate in an online course. One that we are offering is a Masterclass in Art of Lunging. And this is really, it's not just like, okay, you lock in, it's a course you kind of walk through. This one is a whole deal. Like I'm a little bit, it's like in university. You're in a class, you will have a group class lesson once a week. It's been a lot of fun. Our current class, I really appreciate. We have people that have dressage horses, they're like kind of in their mid-50s, and they want to improve the conditioning of the horse. The horse is a bit further than the own rider, and she said, I really want to cross-train once a week. I'm excited to learn about it. We have a retired person that came in to like keep her horse more in shape. The horse is a little bit older. She doesn't feel like riding every day, and they're always feeling like fit and secure on the horse, and the lunging gives an amazing cross training. And we all talk once a week. It goes over 6 to 10 weeks. We'll check in, we'll check what our horses are at, how they personally develop their lunging skills. We give feedback to each other. You guys have little homeworks that you have to do. So it's a very comprehensive course format. And it's really almost like, I would call it a group coaching. It's like a weekly coaching session, and alongside you have readings and videos to watch. Afterwards, you get a nice certificate that you made your level 1 of Art of Lunging and that you are a legit lunger, this way. And yeah, well, also we had people that have lunged for a long time, and they said just some of the introductions we give them, like into side reins or work out how to put together a personalized training plan for the horse, that has made really a difference for them. So we're excited to start our next course. It starts on June 14th. We only do it about 4 to 5. Full attention is with them, and they get our time, and we'll make sure they work out with a different horse after the course. We've actually, Tyler, I'm going to hand over to you because I know you're really good in this. Tyler is running the classes, especially she's like the teacher that grades it, that is there when there are questions coming in. She helps you with all the technical pieces on how to navigate the course. So it's been really fun. Tyler, I'm handing over to you and give you a little bit of more exercise examples on what we do and share some of the experience with our current classes. Oh, you're in mute.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely. So the classes are a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun so far. Yeah, so like she said, it really is a comprehensive overview of lunging. So I think in some courses you get just course material where you just have readings, you just have videos, and then in some courses you only get the video classes. In ours, we really wanted to combine both of that and give you reading material and video material that you can watch and learn from, as well as example exercises you can do with your horse or another horse at home. And then we also meet once a week to answer those questions, to really give you, personalized tips and tricks. There's an exclusive Facebook group that we ask you to post your videos and pictures of your horse lunging. As we go through the course, we'll teach you new and different skills, and we'll ask you to kind of post those so we can review. So we take Everybody, whether you've never lunged a horse before or you have extensive lunging experience, we take you all the way from the equipment that you should use, how you should lunge, where you should lunge, all the way into the really advanced techniques of lunging through the pyramid of training. So we really give you an overview, whether you have an extensive knowledge of lunging or you have no lunging at all. And it's really great because we've had people, who've been lunging horses, in their 20-year horse riding career that have said, hey, I learned this through the art of lunging, when I learned this trick or when I applied this technique to my horse, I've seen changes in my horse, that I haven't seen in 10 years. For example, we had a halflinger that in our last class that she came back after the side reins lesson and said, wow, I was trying to get him to do this for so long. And, in 1 week of practicing this way, I've really seen a big improvement. And then the most exciting part was that she said she saw the improvement as she was lunging, and she also saw it under saddle. So that was really exciting for us to hear for her and her halflinger. So as you see here, an overview a little bit of the class is that you learn like the skills of lunging, whether you're a beginner or an extensive lunging person, a good understanding of lunging equipment. We walk you through everything that you could use, that you are using. We check out kind of what you have at home. We also give you example videos of how to handle the whip, how to practice body language, how to put on the side reins. We kind of walk you through all of those steps. And then we also give you an eye, so we start from the very beginning lesson showing you how to assess a horse for lunging, so that we're helping you work with your horse, but you also see assessments from the other riders in the class so that you can see different things that we're working on. Some people are working on rhythm, some people are working on impulsion, some people are working on straightness, just depending. So you can see how to work with your horse, but then how to work with other horses that you might work with or come in contact with that you want to lunge. So it's the great part of that is because we have different people in every class, each person gets the knowledge that everybody else is getting because they're watching other people's horses as well. So it's a really great kind of very unique program to be able to learn lunging with a group of other equestrians. Again, that's starting June 14th. We're really excited for our next class. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you, so you're breaking up just a little
Hello?
bit.
Can you hear me?
I can now, yes. Kind
So
of.
I think I got kicked out twice. I don't know if it's your Wi-Fi or mine, but I'm happy if it's mine.
Okay. Yeah. Everything is still good on my end. Live,
very cool. Well, thanks for giving us the quick overview, Tyler.
Yes. Oh, I think we're losing her. That is okay. Yeah, so if you're interested in our masterclass, the link is here. It's horsepilates.com/masterclass. We would love to have you in our next class. Again, it's starting June 14th. We do limit our class sizes to 8 to 10 people, so just keep that in mind. If the class is full this time, then please join us for the next round.
Hello? Oh, good. Go ahead. I might be back, so we have to see how long I stay here. You go ahead, Tyler.
That's okay. Okay, so we just discussed our masterclass. So if the masterclass feels like it's a little bit too involved for you, if you maybe think you don't have enough time, we also are including, we've taken our masterclass and just made it as a self-study version instead of a version that we walk you through and you can meet group with us weekly. We've created an option where you can just go through the online course material. So we're really excited to introduce that. It's part of our membership program. So you get the self-study masterclass, which is all of the 10 lessons that you'd get with our group class, except in the self-study version. So we're including that in our membership. We're super excited. And so we're offering, because you're in this webinar today, we are offering that membership to you for a week for free. So you can go into the membership, check out the online self-study version of the masterclass, see what it has to offer, practice all of the tips and tricks, and learn all about lunging in that 1 week for free. And after that 1 week, it's just $17 a month, and it's for 3 months. And so you also get access to our how-to video library, an exclusive video library of all the things that we teach. We walk you through all of the exercises, how to practice, how to troubleshoot. We really talk about troubleshooting issues, leaning too much into the shoulder, leaning outside of the circle, going too fast around the circle, things like that. So we're very excited to launch this and to offer this for you. This is a webinar that we're really excited to present to you guys. So as a thank you, this is what we're offering. If you registered for our webinar before, then we will send you an email right after this with a recording of this webinar so you can watch it later, and also with the membership program access. So at this point,
we have some questions. Very exciting.
Questions.
So actually, I just answered Marie Shepard's question. She said, I have regular side reins, probably would like to try the sliding side reins and would need them for the course. What is the best place to get them? So yeah, it is a great question. We have a couple links or lists for providers. For side reins, they're still a little bit rough to get in the US. We weren't going to get into like selling equipment, but we're also working on eventually getting some to sell so that you can buy them from us directly. So we recommend to just send us an email, and we send a couple links. And we're currently working with some providers, especially for the people that are in our course, to that you have a little bit of a better price for the equipment. Another one we're working on is a partner for cabezons, because we do a lot of exercises with the cabezon, and those are a little rough to get here as well. So Marie, feel free to just kind of send us a quick email, and yeah, we'll be thrilled to see you in our course for sure. Yes, that'll be fun. And then I have for the gaming Lamar 296. Your question was, is there a conditioning schedule you recommended? Yes, there is one. So for the there's a lot of tips on our website too, but for in the online class that we're offering, in the Masterclass, you actually put a personalized training plan together for your horse. So in the first session, there's an assessment. You'll make a video of your horse, where it's currently at, what you want to work with it. We'll talk through the class, and the others hear that as well, so they can learn from that example on where the horse is at and where you want to bring it. And then while you learn each of the different activities, skills, your own lunging skills as well for the horse, and how to apply the different aids, it always goes back to your training objective. And we put together basically a conditioning schedule. I like that word actually. So it fits to get your horse into shape. So yeah, again, feel free to reach out, and we'll share a little bit more with you guys. And you're super welcome to sign up for the 1 week free trial. And in that one, you get already some of the theory that we're doing in the course. But it helps, and you get the most benefits out of it actually really through that class schedule format, because we talk about everybody's scores, and you learn, I'm always saying, you learn how to develop an eye on how to see what a horse needs. So you not know how to lunge your own horse and how to set a training plan together, but would know it for many different horses. That's really how you learn to do it correctly. Yeah, it's super cool. So thanks for that question. I'm looking. What else do we have? You guys have more questions? Otherwise, we have the link. I saw Tyler just copied it into down here. It's basically HTTP / or basically horse-pilates.com/membership trial is the link. So you can do the 1 week trial of it, and then afterwards see if this could be for you. We really wanted to do that because it's quite a bit. When you look into the masterclass, you're like, not sure, how does it work, what's in it? So we'll want to give that appetizer for you guys to try it out and see if it's for you. And you can reach out anytime. So do we have more questions? Further thoughts, Tyler? Also feel free to share if something else is in your mind.
Yeah, let me check and see if we have any questions. Other questions. Yeah, I think that's all of our questions. If you have any questions about the membership program or the masterclass, if you're maybe not sure, please feel free to reach out. We do have a Facebook page, Lunging Training, spelled with the E. And we'd love to answer those questions for you, to walk you through anything if you're confused on anything. Before you want to sign up, we'd love to do that. So Marie just asked, what would be the time requirement for the masterclass? That's a really great question. So we do have once a week for 6 to 10 weeks. We have our 1 hour group call. Sometimes that goes over to an hour and a half, because we really don't want to limit your questions or your time. We really want to be able to answer all of your questions and get everything, really solidified so that you're sure in the knowledge about lunging. So at least an hour every week for that group call. And then I would say probably another hour to go through each. So there's each week, there's 1 to 2 lessons that you'll go through. So I would say an hour for that, just the reading and the videos. And then a possible extra hour depending on what the homework is. So for example, our first homework is to create an assessment of your horse. And between the setup and the lunging and the uploading to our group, that'll probably take about an hour. So I would say 3 to 4 hours a week, just kind of depending. You're obviously welcome to set your own time schedule with that and work more or work less. We don't really have any requirements on time except for the weekly group call. So, but we always do say, the more that you put into the class, the more that you'll get out of it. So we always encourage you to go back and read through each of the lessons and watch the videos. And we're always available by email or by Facebook Messenger to answer any questions as you're going through the course. We're happy to answer those. And we're also very flexible, we understand work schedules and horse schedules and kids schedules and things like that. So we have people
holiday schedule.
Yes, exactly. Holiday schedules. Yes. We have people, so some people, if we're on lesson 5 one week and, you come to the group class and you've just gotten lesson 4, that's okay. We're happy to accommodate things like that as well. And if we can help you at all with that time, we're happy to do that. So I would say probably 3 to 4 hours a week, maximum. Great question for that, Marie.
I think that fits about. I think what's the fixed meeting is the weekly group check, but it's the same day. So when we start with the course, then we always make sure that we choose a day that works for every participant. At the moment, it's Monday evening, and we respect the different time zones. Like we had this time, we have people from Colorado, we have people from Kentucky, we have people from Chicago, Maryland. So kind of figuring out the time zones. So that's kind of why we focus the course on this hemisphere. It's more like America, Canada. Otherwise, we have people from Europe or Asia joining. Gets a little hard for our check-in call. But so that's how the current classes are set up. And then it's also a bit up to you. Some of the exercises you could do more or less practice, depending on how you have time. But thanks for the question, Mary. We also I put in the link, which is the page where you can get more detailed information and also register if you like to. It's open for another two weeks, Tyler? I think we have 2 more weeks, right? Before we start again.
2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today.
Yeah. We take max 10 people. We would prefer only 8, or if there's a lot of requests, we split the class up. Because it's just the most efficient way then for the coaching to make sure really each person gets what they need to reach their training goal.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the most important part of our masterclass is that we really do work individually with everybody. So, your very individual training goals, your very individual horses, each of the things you need to work on. We really want to give everybody equal amount of time. And so that's why we keep it small so that your knowledge is really solidified by the time you end the class.
Yay. Okie dokie. So let's see. There's any more questions, or we're happy to answer. Are there further questions? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, this is recorded. So if you know, people that sign up for the trial, the 1-week trial, you also find a recording in there. There's the 10 tips are like comprehensive, put together in a PDF guide as well. And then you get access to the Masterclass self-study version. It really means you are able to like read some of the texts, the videos, the homeworks don't make sense without the class. And then you get access to a certain amount of that course to get an idea on how it runs. And with the membership comes along also access to the video library. So we, it's kind of fun, like every time questions come, we make sure we create videos when our students want more insights, and then we post them in the library. So it's a continuously growing video library really to address different topics, from like how to do troubleshooting, my horse pulls to the outside, or it turns around all the time. So then we'll go out and like make a little video and explain on how to correct that. It also, we offer for the membership people every 2 weeks, there is like guest speakers that come in, and we do a monthly workshop as well. At the moment, everything is virtual, which makes it very easy to access. And then I see Tyler just posted for everybody to get started, we also have like a free e-course that that you can find on the website, which is basically an email sequence that comes over 8 weeks. Yeah, for today, for you guys, this is only for the group that watched the webinar, really, is that you can try get access to the course for like 1 week for free. So that's exciting. Yeah. Okay. Wow, we're already on an hour. So if there's no more questions, we would wrap it up. And we are grateful for you guys' interest. This has been quite fun to also for the questions and the discussions. And we'll hope to see many of you guys in our upcoming course.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for joining, and hope to see you soon.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.